Hello everyone, and welcome to the Why Does My Horse podcast series. My name is Vigita, and I've been working with horses for over 25 years now. I also have a degree in psychology and a number of qualifications in equine behaviour and a never-ending love of learning more about the science behind horse behaviour. This podcast is aimed at answering some common questions you might have about your beloved horse child, using science and experience as our guide. So, all of that aside, let's get into it. If you've ever taken your horse for a jump or seen him run towards something in the paddock, you will notice that he lifts his head up as he approaches the fence or other destination. Even though this makes him look a bit like a floundering giraffe, there is a good reason for this behavior, and it has to do with his vision. In the previous episode, we discussed the fact that horses don't have a whole lot of visual acuity, that is, the ability to focus on specific objects. This lack of acuity results in an up to 200% visual impairment on the part of our equine children, compared to our own visual acuity. However, in this episode, we're going to discuss some of the visual superpowers our horses have that we are sadly lacking in. With eyes on the side of his head, his range of vision is almost 4 times larger than ours, coming in at a whopping 340 degrees. That makes for a lot of visual information to process. Not only that, but the number and types of cells in his eyes make him extremely sensitive to tiny movements that we simply don't have the ability to detect. On top of this, he has the ability to use his eyes independently of one another, a feat called monocular vision, helping him to pick up a staggering amount of information, albeit slightly fuzzy. Already, the awkward head-in-the-air giraffe run is starting to feel a bit more justified, but it gets even better. Eye position affects not only his visual range, but also his peripheral vision and depth perception. Peripheral vision is something we humans don't have a lot of, while horses have a good deal of it, which they have used for survival over thousands of years. It is the first red flag your horse receives that something is coming up behind him, and he needs to be ready to hit the gas any second. This accounts for a lot of the, to us, unexplainable bolts and spooks that our horses sometimes whip out of nowhere. They have a lot of visual content to take in, process, and react upon, a lot more than we can begin to imagine. Without changing the position of his head or body, the horse cannot see above his neck or back, beneath his belly or neck, or directly behind him. He also can't see directly in front of him or below his nose. Being able to move allows your horse to work around these blind spots and make the best he can of any given situation. The small triangle of vision that your horse can see in front of his face is his binocular vision, which simply means he uses both his eyes at the same time. This is the vision he uses to judge depth, since you need both eyes working together to form an idea of how much dimension something has. This is an essential part of the visual system, and as riders, we can do a lot to either help or hinder our horse's ability to see in depth. Giving our horse permission to lift his head as needed, no need to go full giraffe, as opposed to keeping him in a forced bent or overbent posture, can be the difference between your horse being able to see around him or being essentially blind. This is just another reason why artificial self-carriage and roll cur are so incredibly damaging to our horses. If you wouldn't navigate a gladiator's obstacle course blindfolded with a gag in your mouth, you have no business putting your horse in the position of doing the same. Our horses might not be able to see very clearly, but the volume of visual information that they are able to take in is really remarkable. By becoming a bit more aware of our own peripheral vision and being respectful of our horses' blind spots and the need to freely lift their heads as needed, we can make the training and riding of our horses so much better for everyone. That's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new about our incredible equine friends. I feel like it's compulsory to add that it would be great if you could like, share, comment, and subscribe. Till next time.